On today's Marion Star Live, we get an exclusive interview with the owner of this grand old building behind me on Marion's Tower Square as he discusses the restoration process and the future plans. And in today's Turning Back Time, we learn about the F.W. Woolworths that used to occupy that space. We also visit the Marion Carnegie Library as they celebrate their 105th birthday. We also learn about the water break in Carterville and how the city plans on dealing with that problem. Wildcat basketball is back, and we take a look back on the past week's games and forward to the next week's matchups. All this and more on today's Marion Star Live.
Now live from Swinford Media Group. The Marion Star, where Marion is the star.
Good morning and welcome to the special Saturday edition of the Marion Star Live. I'm Rachel Stroud. We have some exciting news to share with you today. This building behind me, Marion's Tower Square Plaza, address 602, has recently been bought, and today we're going to have an exclusive interview with the owner as he tells us about their plans for restoration and what the building is going to hold in the future. Without any further ado, let's go. I'm joined now by Steve Fowler, and as you can see, we've moved across the square a little bit. If you've been up here at all recently, you'll notice that there have been some dumpsters out here. There's a little construction going on. There's some tape up here and some 2x4s, and some exciting things are getting ready to happen to this building. Steve, can you let us in on what's been happening the last couple of weeks?
Absolutely. It's been going on for several months now, actually. We decided we wanted to save this old building, and we're really passionate about the Marion Square and all the things that are going on, and so we got an opportunity to purchase the building, and we applied for a grant. It's been months and months in play, but finally, with the help of a lot of people, we were able to procure that grant.
That's exciting. What's this grant going to enable you to do here?
This grant is going to enable us to bring this building back to its former glory, and we're going to try to build it back better than it was when they built it 100 plus years ago. And we're planning on 2 luxury apartments upstairs, and we're going to have a high-end restaurant in the downstairs here, and it's actually going to be the Seasonings Bistro from Benton, Illinois.
Well,
moving in.
That's so excited. We're very excited to have them up here on the square.
We are too.
Now you are very excited about this building. Have you been into the preservation and restoration of old historic things before?
I have. The building right next door. It's also well over 100 years old, and we renovated it top to bottom, and we're just looking forward to doing this big one. It's going to be fun.
You're just kind of taking this block building by building.
Absolutely. We just are passionate about our town, and lots of things are changing, and all of these old buildings are not going to be here if people don't renovate them and bring them up to new code. And we hate to lose our square to fires, and that's what's going to happen if we don't do it. And so we want to keep that from happening.
Just extremely excited about this opportunity, and it's not every day you get this kind of investment into any part of town, let alone the downtown area that we're trying to work so hard on getting renovated. So great opportunity. We're excited for Steve and the project here, and look forward to breathing new life into this building as well. I'd also like to throw some kudos over to Celeste Solers. She's the Williamson County Economic Development Director. She was instrumental in getting this application together as well, and so we want to definitely thank her for all of her hard work as well.
If anybody else is interested in doing a project like this, can they just come and talk to you guys at City Hall?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the Rebuild Illinois Capital Project, there was a lot of funds like this available, and so we tried to put in several applications. You never know when you're going to get picked, and this is a perfect example of what can happen, so we're excited.
A lot of people from the city of Marion helped us with the applications and writing letters to the state. Dale Fowler and Dave Severin also wrote us letters, and they were able to work with Springfield and get this brought to Southern Illinois. So there was a lot of hard work by our local people, the mayor and Cody and all of them.
We've got a great team here, and we are thankful to have you here. We're excited for what's happening. To keep up to date on seasonings as they come to town, check back with us, and I'm sure Steve will let us know as things progress here. And we are excited to have yet another business up here on Tower Square Plaza. Thanks to Steve Fowler for taking the time to talk to us and sharing with us his passion for restoration and the plans for the future of that building. Now, back in the day, 602 Tower Square Plaza used to house F.W. Woolworths and several other businesses over the past decades. Those are the subjects of today's Turning Back Time segment with Bill. We'll catch up with him in just a little bit. But as much as we enjoy antiques, an antiquated water system is not something we treasure. Over in Carterville, recent frigid temperatures have brought many issues for water customers in Carterville. But our reporter Aaron Price tells us city leaders are hopeful that some planned upgrades to the city's water system will resolve most of the issues. Last week, a large water main break in downtown Carterville led to the entire community being placed under a boil water order. However, Mayor Brad Robertson says a $4.5 million USDA loan will be used to replace an 8-inch water main on Division Street. The mayor thinks that once completed, the new water main should solve most issues in the downtown area. The loan will also be used to eventually build 2 new water towers for the community, as well as a new ground storage tank. Mayor Robinson says he is hopeful repairs can begin on the Carterville water system in late spring once all the bids are in. He estimates that many of the water lines with issues are more than 70 years old. We have that promised Turning Back Time segment coming up, as well as a wrap-up in the past week of Wildcat sports and a little sneak peek into homecoming. Stay with us.
Swinford Media and the Marion Star are proud to have the Watermark Auto Group as a sponsor of all our digital programming.
Swinford Media and the Marion Star appreciate the support of the Arcadia Wealth Group, which is sponsoring Wildcat Wednesdays and our Turning Back Time segments. The building located at 602 Tower Square Plaza contains rich memories for those who grew up in Marion between the 1930s and 1970s. From the opening of the F.W. Woolworth Company store in 1927 to its last day on December 31st, 1973, the store offered infinite possibilities to a child. Sam Latuca of the Williamson County Historical Society says he vividly remembers, on warm summer days, just a stroll past the big wooden open double doors would allow the fragrance of their candies, chocolates, and nuts to stream out onto the sidewalk, inviting one in to sample their goods, like a mermaid calling sailors to the reef. Sam says in the days before superstores, entering Woolworths as a kid in the 1950s was like entering a dreamland with their large selection of candy, toys, and seemingly everything from scoop to nuts. The creaking of their old hardwood floors, the look and style of their massive wooden display cases, and the roar of fans attempting to ventilate the store in the days before air-conditioned buildings are among Sam's memories. The building itself likely dates well back over 100 years. According to current owner Steve Fowler, it housed the Marion Elks Lodge before it moved to the large brick building many remember on South Market Street. Further research indicates that the building may also have been the home to the old Dunaway Opera House, which was built back in 1885. It's unclear if the original building was eventually replaced by another on the same site, or if at least part of the current building at 602 Tower Square is the original 19th century structure. The building almost met its demise when a fire occurred in 1935, but fortunately for the children of Marion, the Woolworth Five and Dime store would continue on for nearly 4 decades more. The store gave many young ladies in Marion their first jobs in the business world, including Mabel Albright, who later opened Albright's Men's Clothing next door with her husband Ronald, and Ethel Fallon, who would go on to work at the Dottie Shop and the county clerk's office, among other places, and would serve as the Williamson County Democratic chairwoman. The popular store at one time had 25 employees. The building came to be owned by the Walker family and later passed to Waylon Sims and other owners. New owner Steve Fowler is currently renovating the building to house a restaurant on the lower floor and luxury apartments upstairs. He has his own childhood memories of F.W. Woolworth.
My mother brought us here, or me here, when she would shop, when it was, we called it the dime store or Woolworths, and they had animals in the back. And she would take me back there to where all the gerbils and the birds and all that was, and you stay right here, I'm shopping. So they had a monster candy counter, so all the kids loved to come up here. So yes, I have memories of coming in here as a child.
Many who stopped there in the 1960s remembered that by that time the store was L-shaped with an entrance and exit accessible from West Main Street. This display window and door are still part of the building, which is actually T-shaped and wraps behind the building to the south as well. Steve Fowler also owns that building. F.W. Woolworth closed many of its dime stores in 1974, including Marion. It was a time of grieving for the community. Distinctive interior, Simmons Furniture, an architect and a lawyer were among the building's other tenants since the 1970s, but now it is being restored to its former glory. Steve Fowler intends to keep the building's high ceilings open, and the Seasoning Bistro restaurant will occupy a grand space on its first floor when it moves to Marion, hopefully later this year. As always, we owe a debt of gratitude to Sam Latuka and the Marion, Illinois Historic Preservation website for this Turning Back Time, and to the Arcadia Wealth Group for their sponsorship. Reporting for the Marion Star Live, I'm Bill Swinford.
A Republican candidate for governor stopped in Marion on Tuesday. Aaron Price has that report.
Senator Darren Bailey made his first gubernatorial campaign stop in Marion on Tuesday and was greeted by a crowd of supporters at the Southern Illinois Mercantile Company. Senator Bailey was born and raised in Southern Illinois and currently operates a family farm. The senator made headlines last year after being kicked out of the Illinois House chamber for not wearing a mask. Bailey says that he decided to run because it's time for change in Illinois.
We know that Chicago has probably been democratically controlled, possibly forever. We know that Illinois has been democratically controlled for the past 50 years under the rule of Mike Madigan, and Illinois has spiraled out of control, downhill financially, fiscally, morally since then. Something new has to give, and it's going to be up to people to ultimately figure that out. So, I believe the Illinois is, look at the farm ground, look at the percentage of Illinois that is indeed rural. We need someone who actually has roots in Illinois and who understands the people. There's no doubt about it.
A local voter we spoke with says he didn't even know who Darren Bailey was until yesterday.
Well, at church Sunday, somebody mentioned that Darren was running for governor, and I had heard his name prior in Christian circles, so just wanted to see what he had to say.
Senator Bailey also made headlines last year after he sued Governor Pritzker for his stay-at-home order in Illinois, calling it unconstitutional. When speaking with us today, Bailey acknowledged that the government has too much power.
That's the problem with Illinois politics and government at large, power and control, and it blinds. So I'm standing up for the people, the businesses, and no more government mandates, no regulations. Government informs, government educates, but at the end of the day, people get to decide, because we are a free people, what is right and what they decide they want to do and how they handle a situation.
So far, only one other Republican has announced his candidacy for Illinois governor, former state senator Paul Schimpf. The gubernatorial election will be held November 8th, 2022.
The sooner we're able to see a patient after an injury, the better the outcome. What direct access means is that you can seek services for physical therapy without an order from a physician. So you can either call the clinic directly or come into the clinic and schedule an appointment to see one of our physical therapists. We can often avoid either medication use or unnecessary imaging, but we will do a thorough evaluation, and if we find a reason to referral to a specialist or to their primary care provider, we will do so.
When you're shopping for a new or used vehicle at Watermark, you'll notice the Warranty Forever sticker on the windshield. Here's what that actually means. The powertrain on the vehicle is covered for unlimited mileage and unlimited time. That's the engine and transmission. There's no cost to you. It covers 100% parts and 100% labor. That means when you purchase a vehicle from Watermark, you have coverage for as long as you own the vehicle. So when you think of Watermark, think of Warranty Forever and true peace of mind.
Major support for this and other Swinford Media productions is provided by the owners of Black Diamond Harley-Davidson and their family of businesses.
The Marion Star Sports.
Both the boys and girls varsity Wildcat basketball teams have been busy this week, with the Lady Wildcats playing 3 games in 4 days, and the boys taking on Cairo and Centralia on consecutive days. The Lady Wildcats and their new coach, Casey Rose, had their first home game Monday when they hosted a good Centralia team at Cuss Wilson Gymnasium. Despite 5 early points from sophomore guard Jersey Biddle, Marion fell behind early as Julie Ritter-Williams of the Orphan Annies scored 21 first-half points. Centralia went into the locker room up 26-9 at the end of the first half. But Coach Rose and his assistants made adjustments at halftime that started helping Marion pull back into the game in the third. Biddle got the scoring started. Senior guard Megan Dillon scored in the paint, and Kristen Cadella got a putback to help Marion roll off 10 consecutive points and draw within 26-19. The teams battled from there as Marion's stingy defense held Ritter-Williams scoreless in the second half, and Biddle kept up her good shooting. Gracie Connor hit a 3 with 5 seconds left to draw Marion within 2, but Marion couldn't get a steal on the inbounds, and Centralia was able to run out the clock to win 39-37. Biddle led all scorers with 23 points. Dillon had 12 rebounds for the game. So after their spirited comeback Monday, the Marion girls entered Tuesday's game with Massac County with renewed determination. Marion played the undefeated Lady Patriots tough from the opening seconds and battled through foul trouble to take a 6-4 first quarter lead before Massac went on a run and ended the quarter up 12-6, and the Patriots led 24-16 at the half. Backup center Alexis Hutchcraft came off the bench to lift the Lady Wildcats in the third quarter, keeping Marion in the game. Jersey Biddle cut the lead to 5 early in the third, and Marion went into the fourth quarter down 33-30. Biddle tied the game at the line late in regulation, and the Lady Wildcats forced overtime. The Patriots pulled away for a 6-point win, 53-47, but it didn't dampen the enthusiasm of the young Marion team. The Marion girls had to take the road again on Thursday when they lost to a talented Rams squad 54-44. They return to action at Centralia and then play at home next Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Meanwhile, Thursday, the Wildcat boys hosted Cairo in senior night in a game that had been postponed from February the 16th. Marion started slow and trailed Cairo at the end of both first half quarters at Wilson Gym. Wildcat junior Trevor Jackson fouled out early in the second half, and his replacement, sophomore Evan Nolly, was a spark off the bench as he scored 11 to help Marion finally take a lead, 41-38 at the end of 3 quarters. Ray Bardot scored 13 in the game, and on senior night, Jordan Cook had 12 to help Marion pull away from the Pilots in the fourth. The 58-49 final lifted Marion's record to 3-2 in this shortened season. The Centralia Orphans just defeated the Marion Wildcats by a score of 62-57. Very good, hard-fought rally by the Wildcats down the stretch, Brett. They trailed 47-34 after 3 quarters, but mounted a courageous comeback in the fourth quarter. They put up 23 points, outscored Centralia 23-15 in the fourth. Just wasn't enough. They got within 2 points, had a chance down the stretch to tie or take the lead, but just could never quite get over the hump as their early deficit just proved to be too much to overcome. And Centralia sneaks out of here with the 5-point win.
You know, and Marion, if you take the game from the second quarter to the fourth quarter, they won by 6 points. It's just that rough first quarter where they were down by 11.
We have more live stream games coming to you this coming week. The girls will be at home on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and the boys will join them for a game late Saturday afternoon. Now, to watch all those games, just visit our Facebook page, the Marion Star, and they will be live broadcast there. If you've got any friends who'd like to watch those games, be sure you share it with them so that they'll have an opportunity to see their favorite Wildcats in action. Now, believe it or not, we are just a few weeks away from the traditional fall sports happening, football and volleyball. We'll be releasing our live stream schedules for those soon as they become official. Stay with us for that because you won't want to miss out on any more action. And we will have a homecoming parade. Depending on the weather forecast, the parade will be on Thursday, March 18th or Friday, March 19th at 2 p.m. The date will be determined on Monday, March 15th. There will be some COVID regulations to work around, but the Marion High School Student Council is inviting the community to participate with entries and floats as in other years. We will have the details in our comments on this program, so we hope you'll consider participating in this long-awaited parade. Now that'll about do it for today's Marion Star Live. If you saw something you enjoyed, be sure you like, comment, and share, and let us know what it is that you liked. And if you saw something you thought a friend or family member might be interested in, go ahead and tag them in the comments so that they can watch along with you. For Bill, Riley, Ross, and the rest of our crew here at the Marion Star Live, I'm Rachel Stroud. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.
The proceeding has been a production of the Marion Star Live. The material may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, or otherwise used without the prior written consent of Swinford Publications, LLC.